Welcome back to Finance Boss. Today we're talking about minimalism. Is it the secret to financial freedom, or just a fancy way of saying you hate clutter and own one spoon? Seriously though, you see these videos, these articles, everyone decluttering their lives down to like 3 perfectly folded t-shirts and a single artisanal coffee mug. And I get it, the aesthetic is clean, it's modern, it looks incredibly stress-free. But what I really want to know, and what we're going to dive into today, is what does this mean for your bank account? Can owning less stuff genuinely make you wealthier? We're going to break down what minimalist living truly entails, beyond just the Instagram perfect images. We'll look at the very real financial upsides, and trust me, there can be some significant ones. But because this is Finance Boss and we keep it real, we're also going to talk about the potential downsides, the pitfalls you need to watch out for, because it's not all sunshine and perfectly organized sock drawers. And most importantly, we'll explore how you can strategically use minimalist principles as a powerful tool to accelerate your financial goals, without necessarily having to sell all your worldly possessions and live in a yurt. So, if you've ever wondered whether trading in your shopping sprees for a more intentional lifestyle could be your ticket to a bigger savings account, or if you're just curious about how less can actually lead to more in the financial sense, then stick around. We're going to unpack it all, Graham Stephan style, which means practical advice, no fluff, and maybe a few hard truths along the way. Let's get into it and see if minimalism is your wallet's new best friend, or just another trend. Really quickly before we get started, I'd like to remind you that I upload frequently on this channel. So if you enjoy my videos and love financial tips and ideas, you'd might as well hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and it helps me get more folks to see my videos. Okay, let's get started. Let's define what we mean by minimalist living. The term gets thrown around a lot, and it can mean different things to different people. For some, it's stark white rooms with minimal furniture. For others, it's a clean, Scandinavian-inspired look. But true minimalism is deeper than aesthetics. It's a mindset shift. It's about choosing to live with less, not depriving yourself, but prioritizing value over volume. Ask yourself, does this add value to my life? Move away from mindless consumerism to intentional ownership. Think quality over quantity. Scrutinize your buying habits. Pause before you purchase. Understand the difference between needs and wants. It's about owning less. Declutter and let go of what doesn't serve you. Curate your environment with meaningful items. The goal is a space filled with things that support your life. Minimalism is personal and intentional. Be deliberate with your resources, time, energy, and money. Free up resources for what truly matters. Shift from a consumer-driven life to a value-driven one. Okay, so we've established what minimalism generally means. Now let's get to the part that really excites me as a finance guy, the tangible benefits for your financial future. How does owning less stuff translate into more money? The connections are direct and powerful. First and foremost, lower expenses. This is a big one. When you adopt a minimalist mindset, you naturally start buying less. Fewer impulse purchases, fewer upgrades to the latest model. Every time you decide not to buy something unnecessary, that's money saved. It's simple math, but it adds up fast. Think about all the categories where spending can decrease. Clothing, for example. Instead of chasing fast fashion, invest in high-quality, versatile pieces. Electronics. Do you really need the newest phone every year? Home decor. How many throw pillows does one couch need? These small decisions lead to significant savings over time. Then there are the subscriptions and recurring charges. A minimalist audit often reveals services you're paying for, but barely using. That gym membership you haven't touched in months, the streaming services you forgot you signed up for. Cutting these out isn't about deprivation. It's about aligning your spending with your actual usage and values. Again, more money freed up. Beyond just buying less, minimalism encourages more intentional spending and saving. When you're not mindlessly consuming, you become more aware of where your money is going. This naturally leads to better budgeting and a clearer understanding of your financial priorities. You start to see money not just as something to spend, but as a tool to achieve your larger life goals. Whether that's a down payment on a house, early retirement, or financial independence. This intentionality is crucial. It shifts your default mode from spend to evaluate. Before a purchase, you're more likely to ask, is this the best use of my money right now? Does this align with my financial goals? This mindful approach helps curb emotional spending and keeps you focused on what truly matters to you financially. It's like having a built-in financial advisor in your head, constantly questioning if a purchase is a good deal for. And here's a huge one, a faster path to debt payoff and wealth building. When your expenses are lower and your saving rate is higher, you have more capital to throw at any outstanding debts. Imagine being able to make extra payments on your student loans, credit card balances, or mortgage. The interest you save and the speed at which you become debt-free can be dramatically accelerated. All right, so we've talked about how minimalism can be a financial superhero, swooping in to save your budget and boost your investments. But as with anything that sounds almost too good to be true, there are potential downsides and pitfalls to be aware of. One of the biggest risks is the temptation to go too extreme. You see these hardcore minimalists online who own like 30 items total. And while that might work for them, it can be easy to get caught up in the less is less game to a point where it becomes impractical or even detrimental. You might find yourself decluttering items that you actually need or that provide genuine convenience, just for the sake of hitting some arbitrary minimalist benchmark. For example, getting rid of specialized kitchen gadgets that you use infrequently, but that save you a lot of time and effort when you use them, might not be the smartest move. Or perhaps decluttering too many clothes means you're constantly doing laundry or don't have appropriate attire for different situations. Then there's the social pressure or FOMO, fear of missing out. While minimalism encourages you to step away from consumer trends, it can be challenging when your friends, family, or social media feeds are constantly showcasing new purchases, experiences, or lifestyles that involve, well, stuff. The mindset shift towards intentionality has to apply to your financial decisions, not just physical possessions. It's about the why behind owning less, which should tie back to your broader financial strategy. There's also the joke. Yes, you can survive with 3 t-shirts, but maybe not during laundry week. Sometimes, having a bit of redundancy or a few extra just-in-case items is actually more efficient and less stressful than adhering to an ultra-strict minimalist code. So, we've looked at what minimalism is, the fantastic financial pros, and the potential pitfalls. Now, let's get to the really practical stuff. How do you actually minimalism as an effective financial tool? How do you harness its principles to genuinely improve your financial situation without falling into the traps we just discussed? This is where the strategy comes in, and it's all about intentionality. The first step, and this is foundational for any financial success, is to get crystal clear on your financial goals. What are you trying to achieve? Are you aiming to pay off debt, save for a down payment, build an emergency fund, invest for early retirement, or something else entirely? Minimalism becomes much more powerful when it's aligned with a specific why. Knowing your goals gives your minimalist efforts direction and purpose. Once you have your goals, the next step is to integrate minimalist thinking directly into your budgeting process. This isn't just about tracking expenses, it's about proactively deciding where you want your money to go, guided by minimalist principles. For every spending category, ask yourself, how can I apply value over volume here? Where can I reduce or eliminate spending without sacrificing genuine well-being or progress towards my goals? This leads directly to mindful spending. Before any non-essential purchase, implement a waiting period. It could be 24 hours, a week, or even 30 days for larger items. Often, the impulse to buy fades, and you realize you didn't truly need it. This simple habit can save you a surprising amount of money. It's about creating friction between the impulse and the action, allowing your more rational, goal-oriented brain to take over. Now let's talk decluttering, but with a financial purpose, not just for aesthetics. As you go through your possessions, don't just think about what to get rid of. Also, think about the financial implications. Could some of these items be sold? That unwanted designer bag? The old electronics? The furniture that's just taking up space? These could translate into cash that can be directly applied to your financial goals. Think of decluttering as a potential income-generating activity. Beyond selling, consider the ongoing costs associated with owning things. That extra car might mean insurance, maintenance, and gas. A storage unit full of stuff you rarely use has a monthly fee. Too many clothes might mean higher dry cleaning bills. Identifying and eliminating these phantom costs of ownership can free up significant cash flow each month. This is where minimalism directly slashes your baseline expenses. The crucial next step is what you do with the money you save or earn through your minimalist practices. This is where so many people fall down. It's not enough to just spend less. That freed up money needs a job. Earmark it specifically for your financial goals. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings, investment, or debt payment accounts on payday. Alright, so we've dived deep into the world of minimalist living and its surprising connections to your financial health. We've seen that it's far more than just a trendy aesthetic or an obsession with empty rooms. At its heart, minimalism is about intentionality, choosing to live with less stuff so you can live a life with more purpose, more freedom, and importantly for us at Finance Boss, potentially more financial security. It's about shifting your focus from what you to who you and what you want to achieve. The financial benefits can be genuinely transformative. Lower expenses, more mindful spending, a faster track to paying off debt, and a significantly increased capacity to save and invest for your future. But as we discussed, it's not a magic bullet. It requires conscious effort, a willingness to challenge societal norms, and a clear understanding that simply owning fewer things isn't the end goal if your underlying financial habits aren't sound. It's a tool, and like any tool, its effectiveness depends on how you wield it. Minimalism isn't about deprivation, it's about direction. If used wisely, it can fast-track your financial future. Like, subscribe, and let us know. Are you team minimalist or maximalist with a storage unit? This is Finance Boss saying, see you in the next video.